Now, the big event this week on Saturday afternoon is not college football, is Morgan's wedding.
It's my wedding. It's happening.
There's a lot of guys out there right now that they're pissed. Their window of opportunity is closing.
All these men. You got 5 days.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Tominator, Tom Chiricello. Today is October 15th, 2024. Welcome to another exciting episode of the TomCast. We missed last week due to Hurricane Milton, so we're glad to be back. Hello, Morgan.
Hi, Tom.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
And our guest today, we have my mentee, a law student, Anthony.
Hey, how you doing?
First time on the show.
Happy to be here.
Good to have you. So we got a lot to cover today, so let's get right to it. First thing, for those who don't know, we come to you from Sarasota, Florida. A section of Sarasota is a barrier island called Siesta Key. Hurricane Milton, a Category 3 hurricane, hit last week, and it was a direct hit on Siesta Key. So a lot of our family and friends, and almost as importantly, bars that we go to, were hit by the storm. So there's major devastation on Siesta Key. It is a beautiful place, and we're praying for everyone there. Some people didn't have insurance, or they didn't have flood insurance, or maybe they had no insurance, or what have you, or businesses are closed, people are out of work. It just looks like a war zone down there. So, we feel terrible for them. Morgan, you've been down to Siesta Key?
I have not been down to Siesta Key yet. First thing in the morning, the day after the hurricane, though, I did walk downtown to just scope out the damages, and we got very lucky downtown. They thought there was going to be a massive storm surge like there was for Hurricane Helene, but I didn't see any flooding. It was just so many trees and so many street lights fell and shattered. But yeah, I heard Siesta Key was pretty bad.
Anthony, you have a boat on Siesta Key.
Yeah, I do, and I've been down to the Key a few times. Actually, I have to go there after we're done filming this. After the last hurricane, the devastation from that storm surge really knocked a lot of people's houses, especially the interiors, out. And unfortunately, people started the teardown process while this new storm was forming in the Western Caribbean or the Western Gulf. So before the storm, I was very concerned with a lot of people having pretty much their entire kitchens and everything in their houses on the sidewalk and on the street prior to the storm coming in. And I must say, the island got ravaged, but I did think it was going to be worse.
So your boat okay?
Boat's fine. Boat survived both storms.
Wow, you got lucky.
Yeah.
There were so many boats. There was a huge yacht in downtown Sarasota that just completely went up on land. I saw a pontoon that went up on land. The devastation at Selby Gardens is so sad. They have those massive, beautiful banyan trees that people do weddings right next to. The whole tree, this banyan tree is probably hundreds of years old. It got completely uprooted. It's just awful. But
for those young ladies who want to go for a boat ride, Anthony will be the skipper. I'll be your host.
Oh. You'll be the captain Tominator.
Tominatorlaw.com. Selby Gardens, for those who don't know, is I don't know how you would describe it.
It's a botanical garden.
Yeah,
it's the
sixth
best botanical garden in the world, and we have some of the world's best orchids. Jennifer Romanecki is the CEO there, and I know they've been doing everything to clean it up. I almost had my wedding there this weekend because of that banyan tree. Because that tree is just so beautiful. They'll hang chandeliers from it for different events that they have, and it's just crazy that a storm could take a tree that's so thick and rooted into the ground and just completely rip it up. It's crazy. You think they would start cutting some other trees down here too, because the amount that you just see on the streets from the cleanup, it's that can fall down, hit your house, your car.
The three trades I think that are going to be crazy busy from this are tree removal guys and girls, sign guys and girls, and roofers.
Yes, roofers.
Strong
Call
Roofing.
Strong Roofing.
What's the website?
StrongRoofingSRQ.com. Fill out the online form. It's the quickest way to get on the books. Also fences, because I'm in that Sarasota word of mouth group, and when I go to approve those posts, I see like at least 10 to 15 people posting a day that their fences were knocked down.
I've been helping some people for free, like advising them, calling them, want to hire me. I'm like, wait a minute, you can hire me. I'm not going anywhere. Hopefully, God willing. See what the insurance company does. They might pay you the full amount, and you don't need a lawyer.
So what happens now for those people that had no insurance or flood insurance, and they're like, shit, I got to get insurance? Those rates probably are skyrocketed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, insurance rates, I'm sure even before this are skyrocketing. We could talk about that a whole episode about Florida homeowners insurance. Is a big problem for years, has been a big problem, and will continue to do so. By the way, before I forget, my shout out for my drink today is Diet Dr. Pepper. A little gassy.
Oh my gosh.
Not the best thing for you, but it does taste good.
Yeah, the diet drinks are really good, but they really are awful for you.
So we give them a shout out. Maybe they'll be a sponsor. I don't even know who owns. I know Dr. Pepper used to be independently owned. I don't know if Coca-Cola bought them or somebody or Pepsi, but maybe they want to Tominatorlaw.com for sponsorship opportunities.
That'd be great.
All right. So again, the most important thing is property damage is what it is, but you can't bring back a life. So we pray for everyone. Hope that everyone survived the storm okay.
For sure.
And we will. This country and this state and our local area, we've overcome a lot. Going back hundreds of years, and we'll overcome this too.
Well, people here do a really good job at banding together during these things. Like you saw, at least downtown, and I'm sure it was the same in Siesta Key and St. Armand's, like everyone just trying to clean up the streets and get everything back in order. There was a coffee shop giving out free coffee. There was a little pizza cart giving out free pizza. I feel like people really try to come together in the community, which is definitely a positive thing that I see here.
Being new to the area, especially, and I don't have much experience with hurricanes coming from New Jersey. We got hit in 2012 with Sandy, and that was, I think, barely a Category 1 hurricane, and it knocked us out for, where I live, we were out of commission for a month, and I know the Jersey Shore is probably just finished recovering now. But it's truly amazing to see how Florida, and especially Sarasota, Manatee County, really is getting everyone back on their feet in a very short amount of time. The death toll from Hurricane Milton was 23, which, one life is a lot, in my opinion. But compare that to the 3.3 million homes that were affected with just power outages. So at least, I want to say probably 20 million people were directly affected by this storm. So for the death toll to be 23, and for I think 95% of the area to have power, water, internet, and cable a week later, that's really a testament to Florida and the resiliency of this area.
Well, I've picked on like government agencies in the past on this program, but I want to give them a shout out, like the power, the cable, like they get this stuff back up fast.
Yeah.
They were ready, and like Anthony and I evacuated to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, how was that?
That was fun. I feel guilty, but I had a really fun time.
I heard some stories.
But we went to Gulfstream Park. It's a horse racing track one day, and they had like hundreds of power electrical trucks, like whatever, utility trucks ready, like lined
Ready
up.
to go.
Ready to go. I'm like, wow, that the storm that hit there.
Yeah.
It was sunny every day.
Good for you. Here's the thing. You did the right thing. They told people to evacuate. I watched Eric Arroyo on CNN sit there and say, if you're in evacuation level A, B, or C, and you don't leave, write your name on your arm because you're going to be dead and we're going to have to identify you. I was like, geez. So you shouldn't feel guilty.
As it turned out, I've never evacuated. This was like the first time, and my house did not lose power.
That's awesome.
And, I moved my car inland, but my neighbor's cars did not get damaged, so I could have stayed.
Yeah, but you never know.
I don't regret whatever it cost. It did cost, I wonder if my insurance will pay for that evacuation.
Don't show them the itemized bill.
I don't want to show them an itemized bill. My insurance policy limits me to 1 Tito's a day.
Oh God, you probably had 50.
But I'll have to check that. But whatever it costs, there's
It's your safety.
Like I said, there's no dollar value on life.
Well, and also the reason for evacuating is because of like the police officers and the firefighters. They're like, hey, if we have to come to you in this area and we're telling you it's going to be dangerous, like now you're really putting our lives at risk. And obviously that's kind of the point of their job, but we don't want to put them at risk when you could get yourself out of a serious situation in advance. So that's the whole purpose of evacuating. Like they need to go handle all the other crap that might happen that can't be predicted. If they're telling you this place is unsafe, leave, we don't want to have to put our lives at risk. Like, please just get out now. I didn't evacuate, but my place was built in 2015. It's a cement block, so I was good.
Well, I have a friend on Siesta Key, and she never evacuated, and she stayed during Helene, which 2 weeks ago, we got hit with 2 hurricanes in a row. She feared for her life. The water she's not a good swimmer. It was like 3 feet over her car, and she said she was the first one down to Fort Lauderdale. Like she was like, I'm out of here.
Screw this, yeah. Scary.
So again, we're praying for everyone. Hopefully, like I said, we will get through this.
Yes, definitely.
Now, Anthony, I was rude in not introducing our viewers to you. Can you tell us a little about yourself? You mentioned that you grew up in New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm from Central Jersey. I went to Rutgers University for my undergraduate studies.
Scarlet Knights.
Yes, the Scarlet Knights.
They're in the Big Ten, which may be a little overmatched.
Well, the football team was doing good up until the last 2 weeks, but I think the basketball team just got ranked 25 in the preseason poll. We got 2 of the top 10 players in the newest recruiting class, and high expectations for a basketball team.
All right.
But now I'm at Stetson Law School, where I'm hoping to, I'm at second year, and I'm hoping to be a criminal lawyer in the Sarasota area, the coming years.
I know a lot of criminals.
Gonna give him a lot of referrals.
If every criminal I know hires you, it'll be good. Kidding. So Stetson is where?
So Stetson's in Gulfport, Florida. It's right next to St. Petersburg. It's a beautiful school, wonderful trial advocacy program. I'm on the trial team there, and it's really a wonderful place. And I would advise anybody, if you're considering law school, check Stetson out.
All right. You're also working part-time at Tominator Law?
Some days, yes.
Like
we have yet to talk about compensation, but I gotta work off that Fort Lauderdale trip.
Right, I'm sure.
All right. Well, good to have you with us today. Let's move on. Next topic. I don't want to really get into it too much today, but the presidential election, 21 days. November 5th is election day. Oh, my
gosh. That's crazy how close that is.
I'm going to let you guys take an hour off to go vote.
Yeah, thank you.
No whole day off. But
it's going to be crazy here, There's just so much tension between the left and the right now, unfortunately, that I just feel like it's going to get wild the closer we get to that date.
They say it's going to be too close to call.
What do you think's going to happen? Predict.
I don't know.
You picked Miami for Super Bowl. Who's the president?
Miami's 2-3. They lost their quarterback, so I kind of get a pass.
All right, don't get off topic. Who's the president?
I think Trump will win, but it's going to be close.
Yeah.
It could go either way.
Yeah, even being in Florida, which is generally like a more Republican state, I've been seeing a lot of people on the corner of the Ringling Bridge with their vote for Harris signs, which I was shocked. But then I remember during COVID, a lot of New Yorkers came here, which are generally more liberal people. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting for sure.
All right. College football last Saturday was Texas is number 1. They've been just trouncing everybody, but the big game was number 2, Ohio State, and number 3, Oregon. In Oregon,
Jeez, Tom.
This Dr. Pepper. I may have a lawsuit.
No more soda on this podcast.
Tom, no more soda allowed, Mom. Oregon beat Ohio State 32-31. It came down to Ohio State almost had a chance for a game-winning field goal, but time ran out and they couldn't get their kicker on the field. So they both, proved themselves. When you have 2 teams that are ranked 2 and 3 and it comes down to 1 point. So, it'll be interesting to see if any can beat Texas in college football. They just look loaded, but we'll see what happens.
Well, Tom, did you see what happened at the end of the game?
Yeah, it was like time ran out and they couldn't get the kicker on.
It was a wacky thing. So Ohio State's driving. And I think there was.
I had a few drinks in me by that point.
I think that there was 10 seconds on the clock, and I'm pretty sure Ohio State just got a penalty. So it was either 3rd and long or 2nd and long, and Oregon,
I think it was 3rd and long.
3rd and long, and Oregon intentionally put a 12th man on the field to prevent Ohio State from getting a big play to get into field goal range. You know, I'm pretty sure it's a 5-yard penalty for 12 men on the field.
It is.
But it also came with a 4-second runoff. So they traded the 5 yards for the 4 seconds, and then Ohio State's quarterback decided to slide as time was expiring. But it's going to be interesting to see what college football does with that kind of loophole in the rule. The NFL made it a pre-snap penalty years ago. So I think that was just smart coaching by Oregon.
It was good coaching, like a little shady, but hey, the rules are the rules. Pro football, we only got 2 undefeated teams left. Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce, Mr. Taylor Swift. I wonder if anyone will be calling him that.
Well, so they haven't broken up. Has she been still?
Oh, they went to the Yankee game last night in New York because I don't know how he does it, like because I think they played, like the way I understand NFL teams usually play on Sunday. I think the players get Monday and Tuesday off, like depending on your coach, and then they practice the rest of the week. But I think they might have played like Monday. How is he? Because he went out with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds on Friday night. Then he went out just with Taylor on Saturday night, and then he's at the Yankee game. So
yeah,
I don't know how Travis is managing that, but good for him.
He's having a good time.
Exactly.
He's having a good time, right?
Yeah.
Taylor does look good. Like, I got to say, I talked about this in our Taylor Swift episode. Like, she was so young when she started out. I didn't look at her sexually.
Yes, because she was underage.
Yeah, because she was like, whatever. But she's really like, she looks good. You can
she's
tell
a woman now.
She's working out. But, so they were at the Yankee game because the Yankees played the Cleveland Indians. Travis is from that area. So he obviously had an interest in that game, and his woman supporting him at the Yankee game.
Love it.
But the Yankees won. We'll get into that in a second. But there's 2 undefeated teams left. Kansas City is 5-0, and Minnesota. So a big game this week is Kansas City at the San Francisco 49ers. Now, a lot of people picked the 49ers to win the Super Bowl at the start of the year. They're only 3-3, but they've been decimated by injuries to some of their key players. So once they start getting these guys back, if and when they come back, these could be 2 of the best teams in the league. So that's a marquee game this Sunday. And also Detroit is playing Minnesota. Detroit destroyed Dallas last Sunday, which, it was in Dallas. But unfortunately for the Lions, who a lot of people picked to go to the Super Bowl, their star player, who's, in my opinion, the best defensive player in the league, Aiden Hutchinson, like late in the game, he broke his leg. It was if you watch that video, Morgan, it's you don't want to watch it.
Broke his leg.
Yeah,
So he's done.
Yeah, he's
That
out
sucks.
for the year.
So how does it work with like being paid? If you get an injury that keeps you out
in the game.
For how long? Whatever your contract is, or like what if you have a 5-year contract and you break your leg year 2?
Well, some contracts, not so much in football, but like in baseball or basketball, almost all contracts are guaranteed. Not so much in football because
It sounds so bad.
Like,
break a little ankle and get paid for 3 years to sit around.
There have been allegations like of some players that got hurt and didn't try to come back.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They're like, well, I'm getting my check.
I'm just going to go to the bar.
Yeah. I'm sure they all still actually do want to play the game.
I'm sure
you don't just become a football
guys,
player for no reason. It's because you're obsessed with it, right?
Most guys want to come back. But,
yeah.
But I won't mention any names. I don't want to get sued. But there have been over the years allegations of certain players that could have come back and just mailed it in.
Yeah.
Because you're always going to find a doctor that says you can't play.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's a terrible injury. Unbelievable player, leader of the Lions. Who knows? They were playing great, and it's the type of injury though that I think he'll come back. You may say a broken leg.
Was it a clean break?
Broke. I used to own racehorses. Sometimes like a broken bone was better because it heals just as strong.
Right.
You know,
versus like shattered or something,
like
right?
like a ligament injury, like some of these knee injuries, when you say they tore their ACL or
You're
their
screwed
MCL.
with those, right?
But if you guys look at that video, all you have to do is
I want to watch it.
it's vicious.
What's his name?
Aidan, Aidan Hutchinson. He went to the University of Michigan, was their leader. Then he was the second pick in the draft a couple of years ago. And he's been just like absolutely dominating, like, insane, like trying to get the record for most sacks in a season. But if you want to see that and just like see it snap, it's terrible. I wish him a full recovery. I really feel bad for the Lions because they're firing on all cylinders. I don't know. See what they can do without him. I don't know if they made the Super Bowl. Well, what's this, October? I guess it's possible. Like if they made the Super Bowl, he could come back. Depending on the healing process.
Well, Dan Campbell came out and said, they're not ruling him out for the rest of the year. I mean, obviously he's going to be on the injured reserve, but Dan Campbell straight up said, don't count him out. I'm pretty sure it's a 4 to 6 month recovery. So if he's on the 4 month end of it, I mean, we're in October now.
November, December, January would be 3 months because they play the Super Bowl, playoffs in February. I guess it's possible if they make the playoffs, he could be back. All right, let's move on. Baseball. We're in the playoffs in baseball. There's 4 teams left. In the National League, the Mets are playing the Dodgers. I believe it's 1 game each.
1 game each, yes.
And the Mets are like nobody. The Mets were horrible last year, New York Mets. And their owner is like a multi-billionaire, very wealthy guy, Steve Cohen. And he was a Met fan growing up. When he became rich, he bought his favorite team. That must be nice. Of course, if I were a billionaire,
but then he
I would
drove
buy
him to
Hooters.
shit. So shocker! I could have never guessed that.
But so he invested all this money in the team, and like they were horrible last year, like the worst. And the joke was the worst team money can buy. But this year they played really bad at the start of the year, and the Mets have been on fire. And I remember when I was a kid, I grew up in that area. Like I liked both the Mets and Yankees. Like. In New York, usually like one hate the other. Mm-hmm. And the Mets, their theme song was "Let's Go Mets, Let's Go Mets." I remember that song. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife, guaranteed to have the time of your life. But and then they had another song in the '80s, "Let's Go Mets Go." But they've just been killing it, and the Dodgers are great. I mean, the Dodgers are, they really have so many great players, and they're 1 game each, and then the other playoff is Cleveland and the Yankees. And as I mentioned, Travis and Taylor went to the first game. The Yankees won the first game last night. So they're really good games. And I grew up a big baseball fan. As I got older, like a lot of people, baseball's not as big as it was when I was a kid.
It's just such a long, slow game, right?
Yeah, and the season's so long.
There's too many games.
There's too many games.
Yeah.
And they've done things to speed the game up. Like, in other words, the pitcher would used to stand out there waiting forever to pitch, and now you have a time clock. They have to throw a pitch. So they understand that. But the playoffs are exciting. Like, I'm into these games now, where I wasn't, like, in July. I could care less about some Wednesday game in July.
Right.
But
because now it actually matters.
now these games they're good teams. They're all good. They're closely matched, and they're exciting games. So I'm looking forward to watching baseball playoffs. All right, so that covers that. Cross that off. Now the big event this week,
what is it?
On Saturday afternoon, is not college football. Is Morgan's wedding.
It's my wedding. It's happening.
There's a lot of guys out there right now that they're pissed. Their window of opportunity is closing.
All these men. You got 5 days.
You better make your move. But
no hurricanes canceling my fucking wedding, that's for sure.
I looked at the weather forecast on the way here. I got to be honest, and I'm like, please, and it's like sunny, 0% chance
it's
of
going to
rain.
be beautiful. Like, I think I'm getting so lucky. And it's at the resort at Longboat Key Club, and I will say they've done they said that they have 120 resorts, and when something like this happens, like catastrophic, like anywhere, any of the resorts, they just fly people out. Like, so it's like all hands on deck, trying to get it cleaned up. So even for there was a wedding the week of Helene. Unfortunately, they couldn't clean it up in time because that was just like too devastating, but they helped them move it somewhere else. I think Art Ovation stepped in, and so I don't know, I'm excited. I think it's going to end up being like the perfect weather.
Oh yeah, it's like sunny like all week from now until I think like next week. 0% chance of rain is 0%.
My dad had a panic attack last week. I was super chill. I'm like, we'll figure it out. We'll pitch a tent
I think
somewhere
you
else.
can buy insurance for that. I'm assuming you
I
didn't buy it.
No, that's probably why he was panicking. The man footing the bill. But yeah, I think it's going to be good. We're going to serve sushi from Tsunami. That's also a local restaurant downtown Sarasota. We're going to have a band called the Hit Factory, like a 10-person band. So that should be fun. And a lot of good food. So I cannot wait. And then there will definitely be an after party downtown.
If anyone wants to send a present, is there a website? Morgan's.
It's called my bank account. Just Venmo me, Morgan-Steffes. Thank you.
Morganswedding.com. A gift. Check off what you want to give.
Yeah, it should be fun. Oh, and Tom is my officiant. I forgot to mention that. So he's actually marrying me and Trey. So better be a good speech because you're the star of the show.
I've been watching YouTube videos. Like, I'm not lying. Like, because where do you go to get? There's no book you go to. Like, I'm watching.
No swearing. My mom would literally kill you.
And I will not consume any alcohol.
Yeah, I gave him a no alcohol rule.
I will not.
You could have one. I'll let you have one drink before, but like not
Just
like a triple Tito's. But you can, because I'm gonna have a couple. But like I'm giving you one drink limit.
I gotta tell you a funny. I told you I was a huge baseball fan as a kid, and I still am, but not to that extent. But this is way before I was alive. The Pittsburgh Pirates had a Hall of Fame player in like the 1920s or 30s, like a million years ago. His name was Paul Wainer. And they called him Big Poison because his little brother was Lloyd. They called him Little Poison, Big Poison, Little Poison. Like, and the Pirates have their spring training right in next town over Bradenton, Florida. So Paul Wainer, this is before he had TV even or social media. Like, he was a notorious alcoholic. Like, he would drink in the field, have a flask when he's playing.
Jeez, that's crazy.
And like, he was great.
He was still good?
It was great.
So it's called a functioning alcoholic.
It was great. So they get a new manager, and the manager says to him, Paul, you're one of the best players in the game. If you quit drinking, you'd be like better than Babe Ruth. You'd just be like insane.
Right.
So he goes, make me a deal. I'm not going to give you a hard time and try to stop. Just give me 1 month with no drinking, and then we'll see how it goes. So he says, okay. Goes a month, can't get a hit.
He sucked.
He sucked.
Oh my God.
So after a month, the manager goes, okay, Paul, drink. So my point is, maybe I might be better.
Maybe you'll be better. No, seriously, you can have like
Well, I had
one strong drink. That's it.
I took the Florida bar exam in Tampa. That's
Were
where
you
they
drunk?
have it.
Is that where this is getting
So it's 2 days, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon each day. So I met this guy. I don't remember his name. He was from South Florida. He had gone to the University of Florida undergrad and University of Michigan Law School, which is really highly ranked. So we just were hanging out, and he's like at the breaks, he's like sweating. He goes, I'm getting killed. I'm like, you went to Michigan? Are you kidding me? He goes, I'm not going to pass. I'm killing it. I know I got it right. And he goes, we didn't study Florida law. I said, well, you knew you were taking the Florida bar. Why didn't you study on your own?
Yeah.
And he's like, so then it's not there anymore. They lost their lease, but there weren't many places to go for lunch. There was a Hooters right nearby, which was fortunate for me.
I feel like you have a compass that.
So we go to the Hooters, right, and I order a shot, and he goes, "You're drinking a shot?" And he goes, I go, "Maybe you should too." Because he's so sweating it.
He's like freaking out.
I'm not getting wasted just to get the edge off.
Right. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Yeah, you can have like one strong drink. I just don't need you up there like slurring your words, you know.
No,
I don't need like 9:30 p.m. Crescent Club Tominator, all right?
I'm not going to have any drinks until I believe I'll have my first drink. I'm looking at the agenda.
Oh, you printed it?
I printed it out.
I didn't even print out my wedding
I
agenda.
think they have some of the times wrong. Like it says
Something said 5:45 a.m.
4:45 in the morning. I'm like, what the hell?
I think that's the vendors when they're
they have to
showing
be
up.
there, yeah.
Yeah, not you. Don't worry.
I'm looking at what time I can have my first drink. It says, here we go, blah, blah, blah. Cocktail hour.
Yeah, but you're before cocktail hour is the ceremony.
Ceremony ends 4:45.
It starts at 4:15. So why don't you have your first drink at 3:30?
No, I could have my first drink at 4:45.
Oh, well, I mean,
Cocktail hour begins.
if you want a drink before, have a drink at 3:30 before the ceremony. That's fine. I'm going to chug a high noon. That's my plan. And then do whatever you want at 4:45 p.m. But you got to last till 10 o'clock because the trolley won't let you leave.
I guess the
until
trolley
then.
departs at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, you're staying the whole time, and then we're going back downtown.
All right, so, I only work like a half a day on Saturday.
Yeah.
Got to be ready. In case maybe somebody like gets me in a car accident on the way, so I have time to call an Uber. You have to account for this stuff.
Well, take the trolley if you want.
So let's take a look at the agenda. Let me take a look at who these bridesmaids are.
Oh, yeah, who we got? I mean, you know
There's no
everyone.
picture- there's no pictures
there's
on
only 2 single girls in this wedding. The rest of them are my
Who are they?
sisters.
Let me check them off.
Yeah, you know them. You know them well. You've taken them out to a few dinners.
I don't recall.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who is even single at this wedding. Like, there's not that many. And then, like, those girls have been like, who are the single guys? And I'm like, I can only think of, like, 3.
Uh-oh.
So it's really going to be like a
I already
competition,
picked- I
you know?
already
Like,
picked
who gets him?
We already picked our dinner. I think you told me like a long time ago, right?
For rehearsal dinner, you picked your meal for Friday.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
doing our rehearsal dinner at Rose and Ivy. It's like a beautiful place, downtown Sarasota, that's attached to the Sarasota Opera. So that will be good. And then the food, like I said, it's going to be 50% sushi, and then we're going to have Mongolian beef, chicken pad thai, and bang bang shrimp. It's like Asian-themed food.
All right, that
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Haven't met a food I didn't like. This will be my first line I was put in is I'm very nervous. I've never married anyone before. Been close a few times, but never married. You never know what could happen.
Don't you
I got
say
the prenup
that.
in my glove compartment.
I will fucking
I'm not
kill
going to
you.
say that.
I would literally punch you in the fucking
Morgan
face.
told me I can't say if anyone objects.
You can't say if anyone objects, and you can't talk about Hooters, and you can't talk
I
about
won't.
divorce.
But I understand.
And
Hooters,
so too many people have tried to fuck with me this week. Don't you be next.
Hooters wants to sponsor it.
Yeah,
you know, some people do
absolutely
that.
not. Have people sponsor
They
their
sponsor. They
weddings.
get sponsors so that offset the cost.
Well, like, you have to be a pretty important person to get your
Well,
wedding
like, I mean,
sponsored. Like, no
no-
one's sponsoring little old me, you know?
No, like say they, they might give you like free food, but to be a
Because-
sponsor because they're hoping
Yeah.
that the wedding people will go to their place.
Oh, yeah. Well, Longboat Key really didn't want to let me do sushi. I wanted to just do sushi, and I'm like, I don't care if you're not a sushi eater. Like, this is what we're serving you. And they forced me to just do 50% because they still needed to use their kitchen and their people for part of the food because typically they don't let you use outside vendors.
I know
that
where
was our
Longboat Key
compromise.
Club is, but I've never actually been in there. Like,
It's pretty.
I'm gonna have to leave early though, so I make sure I find the right place.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard.
I'm debating should I drive my car there or Uber there.
No. I literally paid for trolley so people will not drink and drive. That
And
is
where does the
whole
trolley
point.
leave from?
Art Ovation downtown at 3:30.
All right, so just be there. So I'll just Uber there.
Yes, that's fine. Uber there. Do not drive.
Oh, I never drive drunk. They're
Yeah,
very
I know.
careful.
Well, I'm just saying the whole point of these
My
trolleys
Uber bill will attest.
was to avoid this. Safety first.
That's right. So it looks like we got the first order of business is there's no hurricane going to hit that day.
Yeah, we're going to be good.
And the weather's going to be perfect.
And then we'll do Sunday football at Food and Beer. I booked the upstairs. So.
And we got, the best games are the late games. Like I said, Detroit and
Are there
Minnesota.
games Saturday?
Oh yeah, the
College.
game Saturday.
Yeah, whatever.
College always Saturday.
People can get over
Once, like toward the end of the season, like the last 2 weeks of the season, they'll play like one or two games on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But usually it's college Saturday. There is a Thursday night game night. I think it's Denver and New Orleans, which is kind of a lame game.
Well, good. It's not like a big weekend then, so people can
Well, I mean,
go to the party.
For the most games, the kickoff's at noon on Saturday, so people will be able to watch
Oh,
the first
definitely.
slate of games.
Yeah.
That works out pretty well.
Yep. Yeah, you're right, because they don't have to leave till 3:30. Can't wait.
No football on at the wedding?
Absolutely not. It's outdoor in the grass on the water. So,
Do you have like the band has like a list of songs?
oh
for,
yeah,
like-
I gave him a ton. I had to do a good mix of like Motown for my parents, and then obviously like more trendy.
Any
pop
Taylor
music.
Swift in there?
Oh, I put a lot of Taylor
Really?
Swift actually. Yeah,
How about
she's
Selena?
she's a good one. I think I put some Selena's
Really?
in there. I was trying to do all upbeat music. Like I'm not like, oh, we're gonna slow dance. Like screw that. Like let's have it all be like fun and exciting and whatever. So, we'll see.
One song you always hear at a wedding is AC/DC. You shook me all night long.
I didn't put that. I didn't put
It's been a while since I've been to a wedding.
I've actually never been to a wedding.
Really?
What?
I've never been to a wedding.
Wow.
You know, I said this to Morgan before.
That's
like,
crazy. Now, well, you're younger. Aren't you 25?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it kind of. I only had gone to weddings because I had 2 older sisters.
Yeah.
when I've been invited, I've been to a lot, but almost everybody I know has been married for like a long time. But and then you get the invitation, like, oh man, I gotta get maybe a new suit, or gotta get a date, gotta get a gift. Lose a Saturday watching football and going to Hooters and this and that. Like, and I always have fun. Like, they're always really fun. Like,
Yeah.
you're glad. I've never been the one where I wasn't glad I went.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you're going to this one since you're the officiant.
Got to go watch my YouTube videos. It's amazing what you can learn. Like, the last thing I could ever be is a doctor. It's a good thing I'm a lawyer because, forget it. Like, but you could probably go on YouTube and figure out brain surgery, how to do it.
Well, doctors also can't drink. So, they can't even drink the night before a surgery. So, you couldn't be a doctor.
But there's everything on YouTube. Like, you can, I don't know, there's probably a YouTube video on anything that there is.
Probably to, fly a plane or something, right? Yeah.
It probably is. Mm-hmm. So that's where, and some of them I like and some of them I can't stand, that are just all over the place. A lot of them they do their own vows. A lot of them they don't. So we want conventional vows.
Yeah, just do the standard.
Sickness and health, richer or poorer.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know about the poor, right? What you talking about, Willis?
For a richer or a richer.
For richer or richer. For rich or richer. That would get a laugh out of the crowd.
That would be funny, actually.
You want to put that in?
Don't ask me. You do what you got to do. I have nothing to do with it.
I think that was a yes.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it should be good. Don't forget your tie.
Should I use your middle names?
No, I have a weird middle name.
So, because sometimes they give the whole name of each person.
Morgan Steffes and Trey Martel.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, William. You want to put William?
Ew, no, I don't. When I was dating this man and I was at his house and I'm looking at his mail, I'm like, I thought I was dating someone named Trey Strong for months. And then his mail says William Martell. I go, who the fuck is this? He goes, that's me. I go, what do you mean?
What are you doing looking at the mail, Morgan?
He bringing it inside. Okay, I'm a girl. I looked through fucking everything. And I'm like, William Martell. And he's like, yeah, my name's, my nickname is Trey. And my last name is Martell. It's not Strong. I'm like, you should change your Instagram handle. I was wondering why I would Google him, and I couldn't find anything. There's nothing about this man on the internet. It's because I had the wrong name. I'm not ashamed to say I Googled.
We could have a whole episode on that about things that you need to do.
Oh, totally. I'm good at this shit. I can find
Morgan's
out
going to start a
anything.
school for young girls.
Literally. Just send me his name and I'll find everything you need to know.
Oh, man. We could start a business.
We could, actually. Looking into someone before you go on a date. It's kind of like that. There's that website on Facebook called Are We Dating the Same Guy?
I've seen those.
Only girls can enter it, and then you'll post a photo if you're going to go on a date with someone or interested, hey, any tea on this guy? It's supposed to be more so for safety reasons, and there's some freaks in that group. It will be someone who's been to jail or has a history of being abusive, and so it's more so to save you from going on a date with a shitty guy. But then there will be girls that comment positively and hey, that's my friend. He's a really good guy. You should definitely go.
So there's enough people in these groups where there's actually people who know the people being posted?
I've seen people I know posted.
Because I've only seen it the suggested groups in Facebook, and I'm like, there's no way.
Oh yeah, there's thousands of girls in the group, and so yeah, people post, and I've seen some local Sarasota men pop up in there. Not Felipe yet. I've been waiting for him to get thrown in there, but yeah, and if it's someone that I think is a good guy, I'll be yeah, he's great. But I usually steer away from the negative because people start screenshotting that shit and it comes back to haunt you.
It says your dad's speech is 4 minutes. Has he been clocking that?
I have no idea why they put that. We'll see.
And your sister's speech is 2 minutes.
Yep.
So we'll have like a timer.
We just allocated time. It's just general. It could be shorter, and that just means the dancing starts sooner. It can't be more than 4. Probably wave them down like, shut up.
It says there's 13 band members. Is that right?
Oh, I thought it was 10. We got 13. All right. Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, they're going to have a stage and everything. I think I should crowd surf in my dress. I've been contemplating, like, if I get drunk enough, if I go up there and just jump on top of the crowd, why not? It's my day.
The father-daughter song. Should
Oh
I
my
reveal
God.
it?
Stressing me out. I have dance lessons at 3:45 today, Arthur Murray. We're doing like a whole choreographed dance. It's giving me anxiety. I don't want to mess it up. I'm like, can we just do like a normal, like, we just sway?
No formal
butterfly
cake.
kisses.
No formal cake cutting.
Nah, no. So my version of the cake cutting is going to be our sushi bite. We're going to go behind the huge table. It's going to be curved sushi tables with all of it looking like a wave. And we'll use our custom chopsticks that were made in Hungary, and I'm Hungarian, and we'll take a bite of sushi. That's what I'd rather do. But I'm not announcing it. Like, this is going to be done secretly. I don't want people watching.
Now, did you go with one flavor of cake, or is there like, how does that work?
So the cake that Longboat Key uses is Cakes by Ron, like a local baker here. And so I'm doing mini cupcakes at a table, and there's 6 different flavors, and they're all stuffed with something.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. Because then it's just like, they'll put the cake at the table and half the people don't eat it. This way, it's just like, all right, if you want a cupcake, go to the table and grab as many as you want. And then, honestly, if people don't touch it, we can like take it home or something. It doesn't go to waste. Versus if you put it on that table, they have to throw that out once it's been cut.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Who knows, Morgan? You could be a wedding planner after this.
I probably could, but then you have to work weekends, and screw that. Then when would I go out and drink?
You ever see that Jennifer Lopez movie, The Wedding Planner?
Yes. Yeah. What's that with? What's the guy's name? Matthew McConaughey?
I think it's McConaughey.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
He's a University of Texas alum, #1 Go Horns college football.
I think he goes to like every game.
Yeah, I think he does go to a lot of games. He seems like we talked about this on the program in the past, like what celebrities would be like cool in real life, and if they met like an average person, would be nice to them. What would be like, just uppity and like, get away from me, you loser. And like, he seems like it would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, there's, I don't want to say conspiracy theories, because I'm pretty sure McConaughey has come out and said this, but there's a strong possibility that Woody Harrelson is half brothers with Matthew McConaughey.
Wow. Why?
There's some connection between, I think, McConaughey
Some
and
cheating was
Harrelson's
going
mother.
on.
Well,
Or-
half brothers?
Yes.
Well, that's pretty freaking close.
I mean, and if
That's
you
not
if
some
you if you look
connection.
at
That
them,
mom cheated.
they could be brothers
Or
just
the
from the
dad.
look test.
So they either share a dad or share a mom.
I forget what the story is,
It's
but
probably the dad. That's easier to get away with versus like
Yeah,
pregnant.
usually a mom, you're pretty.
yeah, the mom would know, right?
Yeah. Wow, crazy.
There you go.
All right,
I
cool.
like Woody Harrelson. He's all right. White
Like him
Man
in
Can't-
Cheers.
White Man Can't Jump.
Oh yeah, I just watched that recently for the first time with Trey.
There was a TV show called Cheers in like the 80s. He was in that. That was like a great show, set in a bar in Boston. They're running out of places to set TV shows. This is like, Anthony, you're not aware of this. Like, I want to make movies and TV shows and stuff. Hasn't really materialized yet. But like, I'm thinking I need to come up with it, because think of the great TV shows of all time.
They're all in big cities.
Like they have what's left. There's a million legal shows, million doctor shows.
well, now they just take real stories and make
Now
them
they're
into
reality.
shows.
Well, I thought a body shop would be a good location, but now they've that show Tires with Shane
Yes.
Gillis.
I've
Yeah.
never seen
Oh,
that.
it's you got to watch Tires.
You know what one I thought of? Well, then they had Cheers was set in a bar. Mary Tyler Moore Show was a TV newsroom. Like, that was a legendary show. Goes on. They're running it. There's nothing left of a place to put a show.
Well, I guess you got to figure
But
it
one
out.
I thought of was I used to, many years ago, like I worked for insurance companies, like in handling claims. And like, you used to see wacky stuff, like what people would tell you, like of how their claim happened, and just be like so outlandish. I mean, I could tell you a million stories. I'm not going to bore everybody, but I remember I had one guy, the car had clearly been in an accident. Like, the fender was mangled. So that's what we call a collision claim. Now, you also have comprehensive coverage, which is damages other than a collision, like say a flood or a hurricane or somebody throws a rock at your car or something like that. That would be comprehensive. So the guy's like, I said, you were in an accident, sir? He goes, no. I came out, and that's how it was. Like somebody, like, or he had some like story of how it was comprehensive because the deductible was lower. And, and then I'm like, I think somebody kicked my fender in. I'm like, it had to be the Incredible Hulk. The guy got all mad. He reported me. He complained to my boss. I'm like, what can I tell you? Look at the picture. My boss like, okay, forget that complaint.
Yeah, right.
But used to get like wacky stuff that happened, which I won't go into detail right now. But
maybe that could be a show. Call it claims.
I was going to call it claims. I was going to call it, and or you get you go to so. I mean, like women even sometimes would like, can you help me out with my claim? And I'm like, they would offer, it happened, they would offer favors. I'm like, whoa.
What kind of favors?
I ain't going to lose my job.
But meet me at the bar at 5.
I ain't going to lose my job over this.
Jeez, what little hoes.
I guess they did what they had to do, but.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe I don't know what TV shows are left.
I think we just need a reality show on you and Joe.
I
would
think that'd be
watch
gold.
that all day, every day.
People would think that's fake. They wouldn't believe it's real.
Nah, but it's good. It's entertaining.
Like some reality shows they say are scripted, really. It's not all real. Like a lot of them, I think there's some element of.
What about Siesta Key?
I don't
You
know.
have an inside scoop on that one, huh?
I think there's some element of reality there, but maybe some element of scripting. Is that a word, scripting?
Scripted?
Or scriptage? I don't know. But
He's getting nervous.
I get nervous. I don't know nothing.
I think Tom needs a Forrest Gump type movie, throughout his life, young Tom. I mean, he's
Yes.
lived 30 lives.
He really has. That would be enjoyable. I would watch
Life is
that.
a box of chocolates.
That sounds too close to the real
I
deal.
used to date this girl, Jenny, beautiful girl from Jersey, and
Oh boy.
she always was making fun of me. I would say, I want to marry you, Jenny. She'd call me, I don't want to say what she would call me, so that might be my response. But I want to marry you, Jenny.
Then would you show her the prenup?
Yeah, right.
She probably regrets that.
Yeah, probably.
I know what she does today, making $42,000 a year at some office in Jersey.
Damn, Tom.
Because some jobs are if you work for a government, your salary's published.
Right. Yep. Kind of like teachers, right?
So she does. So that's how I know what she
You looked it
I
up
did.
all these years later.
I did.
Jeez, Tom remembers every girl he's ever dated. It's crazy. That could be the show.
one of
Tom's dates.
One of Joe's ex-girlfriends called him yesterday.
Really?
Oh my! I should tell you. I don't know if that's podcast material.
No, Joe's been on the show. Our viewers know him. Joe's our golf and tennis analyst.
What happened with Joe's ex?
I didn't hear this.
No, I mean, she called and she just wanted to catch up with Joe, and I was a little
She saw him
shocked.
on the TomCast and
Yeah.
said, Joe, you look good. Joe does look good. He needs to he's going on the Ozempic. Or no, he's going on the.
That fucking kills you.
His doctor told him.
Can he just go on the Ringling Bridge with me? I'll take him on a few walks.
Joe-
It's fine.
He's going on one of the competitive, not Ozempic.
This is such a bad idea.
Well, I mean, maybe-
The doctor's telling him to do it.
Yeah, do you really trust the doctors nowadays? Do you really want to get started on that bullshit? This stuff is not good for you. It's meant for people with diabetes, and then it takes away your muscle mass, and it fucks with your gastrointestinal system. You can't shit right anymore. You should not be taking this stuff.
We're getting cease and desist from the
God.
manufacturer of Ozempic.
It's the truth. It's all over the freaking internet.
Well, I think I've cracked the code to dieting.
What?
I've lost 45 pounds since July.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What'd you do?
Breakup,
Okay.
always good.
Get single.
And actually, my diet has mostly consisted of Hooters.
Oh, really? So the Hooters wings.
I think I'm
See,
the Jared
that
of Subway.
guy
Yeah.
that went to jail. Jared, he lost all his weight going to Subway, which I believe that. If you order turkey breast at Subway, it's not a lot of fat.
No, bread is still good for you. You just can't overdo it. So yeah, there you go. Go through breakup, go to Hooters 45 pounds later.
I think I'm accidentally doing keto, just eating the Hooters wings.
Probably.
I like the
I call it the
Daytonas.
Hooters diet.
Joe never had the Daytonas. We went there on Sunday, and it was like, "What are we getting?" I'm like, "Let's get some Daytonas." And what are they? I'm like, "Trust me."
What is a Daytona?
They're these. They're plain wings, and then I think they
It's like a mix of the two sauces.
put sauce on them, and then they
a combo.
then they grill them, and like they
You're doing a horrible job at explaining this.
I don't know what they do.
They take the wings,
I
whatever
don't
they
want to know what they do.
whatever they normally do with the wings. They then put the sauce on, and then they finish it on the grill.
Okay, gotcha.
But they're very sticky,
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're messy as hell.
very messy.
Like you need I almost went through half a paper. The Hooters gives you those rolls of paper towels. I went through half a roll.
Jesus,
They
you're
put it
supposed to
on my
wipe your
bill.
hands when you're done eating.
They probably put on my bill. So at the bottom, paper towel. Some places like charge for ketchup and stuff. Restaurants like
No.
Well, Hooters has been charging $1 for a thing of ranch.
Oh, they charge for that.
Yeah, I can understand like a different type of like high-end side sauce. But
And
ketchup-
ranch is now in the high-end side sauce category.
Yeah, I think it is.
They
I
must-
fucking love ranch.
They must tell them that when they hire them. Like you have to ask people if they want that because they make money off that. Like
Yeah.
You're trying to get you to buy sauces.
Yeah.
What they should be telling them when they hire them is Tominator gets every other drink free.
Yeah.
All right, gang, it was a fun time, and we're going to end with another shout out to our hurricane victims. We're with you in spirit, and if you need help, I'll work with you. I'm not trying to make money off a disaster. I do have bills to pay though, and staff want to get paid every week.
He's a good, trustworthy guy. You should use Tom.
But and also we can cut the anticipation with a knife for Saturday at 4:15 post time.
I'm very excited to show up downtown and see the aftermath of
Oh
this.
God, yeah. 10:30. That's when we'll be there.
All right, so we'll see you all next week.
All right, thank you.